Well, hello. We're back together again, and I'm happy to be here with you. And today, maybe we'll talk about love magic because we all ponder that. We've all probably dabbled in that a little bit. Um, it can be very tricky because when you have a specific person in mind and you use that name in that spell, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person's correct for you because that person could have hidden issues or agendas and it may not be your person. So it's very hard to do, but you should never use someone's name in a love spell. But the love spell should describe the kind of person that you would feel comfortable with and want to share your life with them and be happy with them as much as possible. And love, to me, love has so many definitions. And I'm not so sure about relationship love for myself anyway. I don't think I've ever given my entire heart to any man, but I don't know about that. But I do know about universal love and agape, they call it, that I do love you. I love the people of the earth. I love the animals, all the living things on our earth. I do love in a way that I try to use my energy to enhance your life. That's why we're doing this right now. Is when I start reading cards for you, it's because I want to help your needs. It's my only way of doing that, and it's lovely that I can reach people from this method. It's absolutely astonishing for someone who was born in the 1930s, where Coca-Cola was a nickel. And you're lucky if you had a phone that was connected to 5 other people. You shared phones. And that was the limit. I mean, we didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have any of that, none of it. And no television, just plain old radio, which was great for me. I mean, that gave me more imagination than you can think because my father played classical music on the radio almost every day. And it was a good background for an imaginative mind. That's all I have to say about that. But when you're doing things for love, I mean, let's look at the whole picture. What do we do for love? Well, we try to look our best. We try to behave in a loving way. We try to be attractive. And attraction is much easier than when you cast a love spell. The person isn't going to go daffy, fall madly in love with you, and come up and just tell you. It's never going to happen that way. Well, I don't know, but it never has that I know. But love, a love spell is an attraction spell. And especially when you use love potion. And love potions are one of the best way to attract that kind of energy. Wearing crystals like rose quartz, garnets, all the beautiful red colored jewels, and of course quartz crystal. Carrying herbs, either in your bag, or some people can just, I don't know. My aunt used to stuff money into her bra, and she used to call it the shaman bank because there was a shaman bank at that time. But she also took herbs and things that were for attraction, and she put those in her bra as well. And men can put those herbs and things in their pockets, in their jeans, or women too can do that. And that's not a bad idea because these mixtures that we know of don't attract people who are dangerous or evil or mean anything bad. And that is the good part about it. And that's how you need to charge your herbs or your crystals or your spell. And that's why when you write a spell, the proper way to write a spell is I ask in the name of, and then choose what deity or the universal mind, the god and goddess, and you say, I ask in the name of, and you can put your name in there, I, ask in the name of the universal mind, that I be granted, and then you list the love that you want. I be granted a person that is blah, 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 blah. And at the end, you always write, I ask this to be correct and for the good of all. And that means when you attract someone, it's not going to be someone harmful. And it will be someone who is on the list of possibilities. And that's what you really want to have happen. Sybil Leek was a friend of mine, and Sybil always on the back of her spells, she wrote a little poem that she created, and some of the Cabots still use it. And it reads this way: in no way will this spell reverse or place upon me any curse. And of course you're welcome to use it, and I have written that on the back of a couple of spells. When you write spells too, you don't want recycled paper, because you don't want any other kind of words or mixes of energies. So that's the only time we don't use recycled paper. Of course we use that for everything else. So you want a clear type of parchment to write your spells. Oftentimes it's best to ignite it. After you've read it out loud, you cast a little circle around yourself, light a red candle, and today you should be wearing red. It's the day of red, color of the day, or black, which it brings in all colors. So lighting it is an important thing. When you light a spell, to burn it, you have to have a little ash pot that you keep your burnt spells in, and you pick up a piece of paper to write your spells. And I don't have a piece of paper right now, but I'm going to ask a technician to get, well, we don't have a technician that can move right now, so I'll use this envelope and show you what I'm talking about when I'm telling you to be careful how you burn a spell. And we have our little ash pot right here, waiting. I've read the spell out loud and asked it to be correct and for the good of all, and now I'm going to set it on fire. Well, what you should do is hold it this way, set it on fire here, and let it burn. And if it starts to go out, you tip it a little so there's more and more. And when it's burnt about to here, you drop it into your ash pot and let it finish burning. But what I've noticed for many years now, people do it in a really weird way. They go like this. They set that end on fire, then they do this end, and then this end, and now they have this huge flaming piece of paper, and and they have to drop it instead of allowing it to burn properly. And other people will do this. They'll make a tunnel, and they'll put the fire there, and the flame goes right up inside there and can burn you. So being very careful about how you burn the paper. And your ash pot, of course, you keep, if you're burning spells, and we burn most of them, I think, And if you've written one that you've never written before that sounds really powerful, you want to copy it so you can put it in your book of shadows, because once you've burnt it, it's gone out into the universe to come to fruition. But casting love spells, I think it's a good thing to do. And a lot of it has to do with courage about love. I've not ever been good with romantic love. I've been too distracted, I would guess, with a lot of other things. But like I said, I've always been like you, involved with the love of animals, the love of the plant world, and the love of people, all people, big, tall, small, and all those people who unfortunately don't have the knowledge to use magic, and so they can't project food, they can't project for shelter and safety and all that. And there are millions of people who have no knowledge of the science of magic. And this is one of our goals as witches, is to help people learn if they wish to. You don't have to be a witch to use magic. We all have it. And that's very important to understand. It's not unimportant. It's not frivolous. We manifest our entire world with magic through our brain. Our brain comes up with an idea, and like Tesla or, all the great scientists of the world, it came from the universal mind through their psychic ability to help create things. And you create your life. Now, the full moon is coming. So if you're going to do, I think the full moon's Thursday, is that correct? Or do you know? I think, is the full moon Thursday? I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, it's this time, it's really a good idea to do it, cast your circle the day before the full moon, because the day of the full moon is void of course. We never do magic during a void of course moon. Now, how do you find out when that happens? Well, Llewellyn puts out an astrological calendar that lets you know the dates and times of the moon's travel through the planets. And that's how you understand it. It's a wonderful thing to do. And it makes your magic so much more precise when you know not to cast a spell during a void of course moon. They have no idea what the moon is actually doing, and it could muck up everything you're trying to do. So let's dress in black this time on the day before the full moon and cast your spell. And a spell for, everything that you need, and ask it to be correct and for the good of all. This moon should change a lot of things for people. It's a very strong full moon. It could find the job. It could help you make more money. It could help you be safer. It could help you to be healthier. All the things we need and want. And right now, we really need almost all of those things. Even food, we need food. We need help for the farmers and the people who are trying to supply the food as well. So there's so much magic work to be done with this particular moon. And of course, the day after the full moon, it means the moon is waning. The minute it goes by time, all of a sudden at a certain time, the moon is at its peak. It's huge. And 2 seconds later, it's diminishing. It's already diminishing. The light is going dimmer, and we call it a waning moon. And so the next 3 days after the full moon, it's good to do spells to get rid of obstacles, to get rid of illness, to get rid of depression, all kinds of magic that is necessary and good. And we still ask that it's correct and for the good of all. It's very important that we do that. So I hope I'm going to help you do some magic, and we all need it. Each one of you. I'm so happy you're here even to listen to this, because I'm hopeful that your magic, I know your magic is extremely strong. And as a group, all of us together right now, if we just close our eyes and project for one thing together, I'm sure it would manifest very quickly. We can't judge how much time it takes for things to manifest, but they will manifest. I think we should all close our eyes for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not even that long. Let's do it a couple of seconds, and all project for the end of this virus and this illness. So let's do that now. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. Close your eyes. All together now we will project to the universe to destroy and to get rid of the virus that is causing all the problems and illness. We ask that it's dissipated now. And we ask this is correct and for the good of all. So mote it be. There's done. We just did a universal spell for ourselves. Now I'm going to start doing cards and reading cards for you, one card at a time, which I find extremely interesting for myself as well. Monitoring my own psychic ability is very interesting at this point. Tressa Hinkle. All right, Tressa. Change my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. You'd think with all this makeup I wouldn't have any trouble seeing. The King of Cups. It's very powerful. Now the King always represents, of course, a high source of authority. And so there is a high source of authority that can help you now. And cups always represent bounty or goodness. They represent the goddess too, actually. And so you have an authoritative figure somewhere that you can reach to or ask to that could come and help you with all the things you need. It could be a senator, it could be your mayor, it could be a lawyer. I don't know what the person is for you. I'm not understanding that part. But this is a good sign for you. And we have Roseanne Gursky. Roseanne. The Four of Coins. Now the Four of Coins, again, coins are either like pentacles and represent magic and witchcraft and wisdom mostly. And they also represent money. And when it's placed in a square like that, the number 4 represents a fortress, something that's protecting you. It looks as though in this one, I believe that whatever your money issue is, your money is going to be protected. Okay. Angelina Aura. King of Swords, Angelina. And this is an authoritative kind of person, but on the rough side of things. This is someone to stay away from who is pretending or acting as if they're an authority to you. So be very careful. Read the fine lines in everything that you agree to. Do not take abuse from anyone. They're not authoritative enough to do that. Lisa Mello. Oh my goodness, the Three of Cups, Lisa. The Three of Cups is, the number three is a universal number, supposedly, according to science. Science says that's one of the numbers that creates, or the universe creates, or creates by. And again, it's the cups. So you have three people that you need to care for, including yourself. I don't know who those three people are around you, but it will be a happy thing when you take on that task. Denise Hammond, the Eight of Coins. Eight of Coins is, it looks like stability with money. It's going to work itself out for you. You're not going to have to worry too much about it. And of course we do anyway. We say, oh, I don't need to worry about it, but we do. And that's kind of a shame, because it almost puts a stop to what is manifesting. It has the sun symbol, and that's success. Remy Melee, strength. Remy, this is a healing card. It's also showing that you need to use your courage to not back down. Don't take no for an answer right now. And do what is correct for you under these circumstances. And follow the rules. Rowena Orel. The Three of Wands. The Three of Wands. Again, that number three is the universal, very powerful numbers. And it's a number to use in magic. And here you have wands. A wand, as we know, can be a stick. It can be a walking stick. It can be used in martial arts as a weapon. And it could be a wand, the way we use a wand. And that's what I think this is about. This is about you choosing three different situations that you can change simply by pointing your wand. Yes, and this is the Sun and Mars. Mars is not all about war. Mars is about power. Scott Mayfield. Well, Scott, you have the Tower. Well, I don't know if you've simply just moved somewhere, but it looks like it's time to relocate in some way, whether it's relocating your job or relocating your home to move on, moving on from a relationship, possibly. It could be even that. And we have Mary Stimac, the Four of Wands, that number four. This, again, this number four has to be with choices you need to make. You need to make a clear choice about what you're going to do and start planning the rest of your life in some way. And don't wait for someone to come along. You don't need a partner to have a good life or to be happy. It's nice to have one, and we want that sometimes. However, it's not necessary. Let's plan everything for yourself. Danielle Bradley. Okay, the Six of Swords. Well, this is sort of a teacher. It's someone who's going to help you learn to protect yourself. And protecting yourself is like using Norton on your computer. Protecting yourself is locking doors, learning how to get in and out of the car and locking the doors so you don't get carjacked. All kinds of martial arts. And maybe you need to look into all those different ways of protecting yourself. That's a teacher. Bobby Taylor. And Bobby Taylor has the Knight of Cups. Well, the Knight, of course, is someone who's a very, I would say maybe a close friend, because this person is a champion. This person will help you do anything. They may be a little pushy, and this may be someone who's showing attention to you that you're not paying attention to. Maybe this guy's too nice. Holly Boss. Holly the Boss. Palace of Wands, Holly. That is a place where magic dwells. It could mean a sacred space that exists near where you live. And when things are correct and you can go out to that sacred space, I would do so and cast a spell or leave a gift to the universe. Marcia Biller. Marcia Biller has the 3 of coins. Well, it's number 3 again. We are really dealing with a lot of the universal energy tonight, and I think that's quite interesting. This shows that you have a lot of talent you're not using. Do you know what your talents are? It could be artistic in some way, very creative in some way. Pay attention to that. Don't just go along with the status quo. You need to change everything right now. Mary Corbett and the 8 of Cups. This card is so interesting. It's got a Pisces symbol and a Saturn symbol. I think that it's walking into all the things that are good, and don't ignore the things that have already been done for you. Give gratitude for what you do have before you ask for more. Eugene Fletcher?
Fletcher.
Okay. The 6 of coins, and it has a Taurus symbol and the moon. Well, this moon represents, the number 6 is another universal number, of course, and it represents emotion and the fact that you need to control your emotions, especially your anger. And this full moon might stir you up a little bit, so let's be a little cautious. Patty Pierce. Well, Patty Pierce, a Page of Cups. And the page is a young energy. It's a birth. It's something new. And it could be a young person around you. I don't feel that is what this is. I think it's about you possibly helping to heal some young person that needs your help desperately right now. Michael Wilson. Michael, oh, the High Priestess. There she is. But that card says go for it. It's fine. It's okay to want what you want. Sometimes I don't need a castle. I don't need a Rolls Royce. But if somebody gave me one, I'd be happy. But I certainly don't project for that. But I do project for well-being so that I can help myself, then I can help others. So go big. All right, go big. Christy Belmars. Christy's the 3 of Swords. I love this card, the way it's been rendered. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's about sort of a Capricornian energy. Working hard, demanding things to be done correctly around you. Not giving up, but you need to be the boss. You need to make sure things are done in the right way and quickly. William Christian. Judgment. This card is very kind of religious, kind of an idea. But judgment is something we need to hold back on for ourselves and not be too hard on other people. Don't judge by what you think is happening. You have to know what's happening. Try not to make false judgments. Blake Younger. Blake Younger. Oh, my goodness, Blake. The Lovers. Love is coming, or love is there. You may not know that yet. It may not be there yet. You may think you have the right one, or should have the right one, but it might take a little longer. Richard Silva. The Fool. The Fool. Well, it's innocence, isn't it? That card represents to me that you're innocent about a lot of things, and when you're innocent about something, sometimes we step over the wrong way because we haven't done our homework to find out what we should be doing. You need more research in the things that you want. Kelly Higgins. Kelly Higgins, Seven of Swords. Kelly, there's someone around you that could be a thief. Things can be stolen. You need to be careful who you trust. And some people can steal your heart. They can steal in many different ways other than just material things. Maggie Mack, the Knight of Coins. Maggie, I don't know if you've been studying magic, but you have the capacity to create so many things. If I were you, I'd start reading some books on magic. And of course, I always suggest Power of the Witch if you haven't read any at all. But there's so many wonderful books on magic now. You know, there's a lot of books by Christopher Penczak. He's a wonderful writer. B. Myers. B. Myers. B has the world. You have the world. Well, you need to be aware of what's around you and how immense the world is. You need to get what we call a gestalt view of the world from everything. You can't just pick one little corner of the world and say that's it. There's much more to be offered for you. You just have to make sure you go bigger and further. Tricia Lyon, the King of Wands. Wow, he's cool. I don't know what kind of dress this is, but he's got all kinds of symbols. He's got dragons, flames, a lot of fire. Well, it's time to put a fire under your butt. That's exactly what this means. You gotta get up and get going. It doesn't matter how, where, you have to do something. Make a move. Get your life started. Don't wait for someone to tell you when. Dana Polton. Wow, the Ten of Cups. This looks like there could be a marriage coming up around you. It may not be you, it may be someone else, or a gathering of a family. And that gathering is important. I would think that there may be a safe way for you to join in that gathering. Diane Curtis. Diane, be careful what you imbibe. Try to pull back on your nutrition. Look at what you're doing with your food. It's very important for you right now to keep you healthy and happy. Michelle Tomei, Seven of Cups. Seven, I've always been told that number seven means karma, and people think karma means you're going to get paid back for something you did bad in the past life, and that's not what it means. It just simply means the working out of your life now. And sometimes things do come up from a past life, and sometimes you do get a chance to do things differently. But in this case, I think that your karma is really good, that you're getting paid back in a good way for something that you deserve. Lauren Nicole. Well, Lauren, I think you could be a fine teacher in some way, maybe doing lectures or putting together a little group. And I wouldn't care if it was just, like a book club or something like that. But I would expect it to be more about magic and about changing things magically, or herbalism, or one of those types of subjects you should get into, and you should have a little group around you so you can study together. Richard Fancy. Oh boy, the Ace of Coins. The Ace is a new beginning. I think this is a new job, or a raise in your pay, or a new direction in the job you have. But it shows that you're going to be financially okay and safe. Laura Camp. Palace of Cups. Those palaces. What does that represent? A palace is a home, but it's also a significant place for that home. In other words, the place that it's on should be sacred ground for you. So this, to me, means maybe you should be moving or thinking of moving. Karen Gentry. The Knight of Wands. Here's a knight for you. And it looks like somebody is really trying to get your attention. Someone. I don't know if it's male or female, to be honest with you. But you're not paying attention to the right person. You're seeking someone else, and I think you need to take a good look around you. Jason Knowlton. The Queen of Swords, Jason. A feminine attitude about things can sometimes soften a discussion or an argument. In other words, taking a deep breath, and instead of arguing, try to confer, or, give in a little bit in a very sweet way. Mary Mello, Eight of Swords. Well, I think, Mary, your life is in a bubble about to be burst. Things aren't the way they look right now. They just aren't. You think you have it figured out in some way, and maybe not. You need to ask the universe for guidance right now. Kara Knox. And Kara Knox has the Ten of Swords. This is a representation of using power in an incorrect way. Try to do things by the book. Try to be honest about everything that you're doing. And do not try to harm an enemy. You don't need to. They will go their own way. You're protected. Laura Brito. Laura Brito has the Page of Swords. The page is a child who is very active, overactive, a little the obnoxious side, but sweet. Someone you can love, but hard to handle. Melanie Muller, the Ten of Wands. Well, it shows, the Sagittarius symbol and Saturn. Now, Sag people and energy is spontaneous and always brings abundance and good things. And then Saturn slows everything down and puts barriers in your way and makes work even harder. So you're in the middle of both things. There's something there that you desire that you can have, but it looks like you're going to have to work very hard for it. Joseph Guzman, the Five of Coins. You may be a very generous person, but this tells me that you need to give a little bit more to someone. There's someone that needs your help, whether it's a coin or a dollar bill or a $20 bill. Yes, it's tough right now. What you give away, you will get returned tenfold. Kathy Silva. Nine of Swords. Oh, it always looks so ominous, this card, doesn't it? It's got all these swords hanging, and the number 9 perpetuates itself. That means it's going to happen over and over and over. Well, actually, this is a good card. While you're on your own, by yourself, you are protected by the universe. And that protection doesn't go away. You've probably had some near misses with your life in your lifetime. There's been a moment when things could have gone very wrong, but they didn't, and it saved you. Rhonda Sherry, the Sun. It's a Leo card, really. But the facts are, the Sun's energy is healing, and you need to understand how to use that energy. It's not just bathing in the sunlight. It's wearing gold jewelry. It's drinking orange juice. It's ruled by the sun. Wearing citrine or some stone, or carrying a stone that's ruled by the sun for healing. PJ Ward. PJ. I know a PJ. Oh my goodness, this card is the Two of Swords, and it really says that you need to be careful where you place your anger and your worries. You don't really know what to worry about, so you need to take a reassessment of what you think is harming you, because it probably isn't. It may be of your own making. You may be causing your own problems. Iris Johnston, Page of Wands. The Page of Wands. I feel like this is your nature. You're a young person, young at heart, young in mind, and maybe quite funny. You may make people laugh, which is a good thing. Or if you don't, you should start trying. Ginger Smith, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands represents power, basically power. And you have to be careful how you push your power around. It's good to have it, but what are you aiming this power at? Be careful. Kelly Parrington, the Palace of Swords. Palace of Swords. I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't a police person, or should be, or a lawyer, a teacher. You may be none of those things, but you have that kind of energy. Detective, a PI. I'd look into all the ways that law can help you right now for anything you're doing. Nikki Daly. Nikki Daly. Well, you got the death card. The death card doesn't mean death. It means transition, and obviously this means everything's changing. Everything. Everyone you know is changing. Your life is changing. And it's changing for the better. It's something you should embrace. And be courageous, you know. You don't have to be afraid of all the changes that are going on. That they're for your betterment. Madeline Ortiz. Ortiz?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Justice. The card of justice. If you want justice in your life, if you want things to balance for you, for the things that have been done to you that are wrong, there's nothing you should do about it. You should call on a deity to take care of it if it's necessity. We call on Maka, the crow goddess, and we let her decide the fate of the people who have harmed us. Tina Harvey. Oh, the Nine of Wands, wonderful. I don't know if you even practice magic, but I would think you should have a wand, and you should be using your magic. You're scattered, and you're trying to make heads and tails of everything, and that's not going on. You're getting confused. Sit down and ask the universal mind to put you in the right direction. Kristen Herrick, the Queen of Wands. Well, she's sort of, you know, it means you might like to party a little bit. I don't know if you actually do, but you would like to entertain people. You would like to be, you know, gracious to people. But I'm not sure you have the opportunity, of course, right now. But making yourself the queen is important. While you're in lockdown, you should probably be changing your hairstyle, putting on a little more makeup. You don't have to do this, but you could add a little more to your looks right now. Valerie Hamilton, the Hermit. Oh, we're all a hermit right now. I feel like one, but I like it. I'm a Pisces. I like to be alone quite a lot. It's okay. The Hermit. I don't think that you stay alone enough. I think this is something that says you should meditate more. Leanne Grover, the moon. The moon, how powerful. You know, like in Stonehenge, when the stones are fixed to monitor the sun's transits, or the moon comes first. And the reason for that is all our people, all witches, look to the moon for most of the magic. Of course, there's equal amounts of magic with all the planets, but the moon guides us, and there are 13 moons a year. That's why people made 13 the bad number, because we practice 13 moons. Melissa Johnson, Temperance. Temperance means take it easy. It's okay to not make a move right now. It's okay to allow the changes to come and show you which way to go instead of trying to push things the way you want it. It may not be the way things are going at all. Yolanda Romero, that reminds me of a, you know, like a flamenco dancer with a fan and, you know, oh, beautiful name. Very romantic name. And the Five of Cups. Well, try not to overdo anything right now. Back off just a little bit with everything you're doing. Don't overdo food, drink, actions, partying. or, staying alone, and especially try not to use your depression in any way. Michelle Myatt, the Two of Coins. The Two of Coins is that balance thing, but you have Jupiter on your side. Jupiter influences people in high places. That means you could probably go for a loan or go for help from somebody financially if you wish to. But it looks like that is going to carry you through to having the things you really need. Jody Champagne. Oh, the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands. This is kind of a warning not to fight, not to push, not to argue right now. It will do no good to get angry or to try to make things work that aren't going to work. Laurie. It sounds like it should be in a song. Oh, the Ten of Coins. Well, Laurie, there is a way for you in the future to make a great deal of money with your own business. I'm not sure what kind, but it looks as though, of course, it would most have to be first online on the computer. But it looks as though you could be making a whole lot of money. Chrissy Derby. Faith. The card of faith. Well, I'd rather know things than believe in them. Believing has to be backed up by knowing something that is real. I'm not one of those people that like to believe. I like to know. And I think that you may be believing the wrong things right now. Dana Simon, the Hanged Man. David, that may represent the fact that you're doing the same things over and over and over, expecting a different change, and it's not going to change. You have to break that pattern. There's a pattern that you're doing, and only you will understand what I'm saying, and you need to break that pattern and do something different. Michelle Walsh, the Knight of Swords. Sometimes this represents a male figure who is abusive. And I'm not sure if that person is around you, but if so, it definitely means that that's a red flag. It means no. And if it's a person you don't know well, you might want to wait a while. This may be the character. Cat Ryback, the Four of Swords. Again, you're protected. You don't realize it, but even in narrow escapes, while you're sleeping, you're protected. And it's mostly from the other world. It looks like ancestors protecting you. I'm not sure what your nationality is or where your ancestors come from, but it looks as though they're pointed at you and helping you right now. Annie Malone. Oh, Amy. Is that Amy?
Amy.
Yeah. The Six of Cups, Amy. Well, the 6 is the universe number. And these cups show that you have everything you need to succeed. You have to reassess what you're thinking. You've got it already. You already know what to do and how to do it. Mary Alderman is the 5 of Swords. You should, Mary, you should use your power. You should say no, and you should be protecting yourself in all areas of your life, whether it's love, home, job, whatever it is, family. It's time for you to protect you. Karen Taylor is the Queen of Cups. Karen, the Queen. This represents to me that you need to look in the mirror and say, I'm glad I'm me. I don't want to be anybody else. It's time for you to be the queen. And I mean that thoroughly, that sovereignty is what you need right now. You need to love yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. Stacy Simon, the Four of Cups. Well, the Four of Cups shows that something's being offered from the universe and you have to pay attention to it. You may not be aware of it, but the universe is handing you so. It could come in dreams. It could come in something someone says. It's like walking into a bookstore and a book falls at your feet, and it's exactly what you need to know is in that book. That kind of thing is happening for you right now. Laura Vesey, the Two of Wands. This is an open doorway to your mind. You need to study, you need to read, and you need to practice a path of life that is bountiful for you, that helps you, that's good for you. And like I said, it doesn't matter what religion, but the path of life is not necessarily about a religion. It's about enlightenment for yourself and taking good care of yourself. Jill Hayes, the Five of Wands. Oh my goodness, Jill, don't get involved in an argument, especially this week, and don't fight. It doesn't get you anywhere. Anger gets us nowhere. You need to back off, take a deep breath, and think of a different thing to do with yourself right now. Rachel Burton, the Six of Wands. Rachel, it looks like you are winning, and I don't know what that represents, what you're winning for. You know, that's when people say, oh, am I going to win the lottery? Well, I don't know. You could, if you play, I mean. But it may not be that at all. It could be winning a place in the world that you deserve. It's like an accolade. Jonathan Bevins, okay. You know, my technician over here is a high priest, and this is Chris Lavasar, who is the owner of enchantments, and one of our high priests. He has been helping me all week with what we're doing right now. Couldn't be a nicer or better person in the entire world to own a magic shop, because he, like I, loves everyone. We love you, every person, and he represents that kind of person. And this is the Two of Cups, which represents love, and that love is for you, or love you may need to give in a different way than you have before. Krista Malloy. Krista, the Queen of Coins. My goodness. But if you think about it, you already know how to make money. But also, this could mean you could learn so much. You could be a teacher of magic if you wish to. Or you could be doing what I'm doing right now. You could be doing psychic work, which would be wonderful. you can make a living from it. And I'm so happy I got to be with you, all of you, again. It's a miracle. Love you all. Believe me, I love you. I wish I could get that love to help every single one of you. And that's what we both wish for you. And good night.